Hey everyone, today we're looking at Algebra Day 12 homework. So we're starting in section 6-1, problem 4. We need to classify this polynomial. So this 3x minus 3x cancels out, so that's just left with the negative 3. So that's a degree 0, or a constant, and there's just one term, so that's a monomial. And in 11, 5x minus 7x squared, there's it's degree 2. The highest exponent is 2, so the degree 2, it's a quadratic function or polynomial here. And there's two terms, so it's called the binomial. 6-2. We're looking at zeros and multiplicities. So this cubic function, it has a 0 of 5 with a multiplicity of 3. Again, multiplicity is when you're in factored form, the exponent on the root. And when the multiplicity is odd, you're going to cross the x-axis. So x minus 5 cubed crosses the x-axis. In problem 4, I have a little factoring to do first. So I'm going to factor out an x squared out of all the terms, and I'm left with x squared minus 8x plus 16. Can you think of two numbers that multiply to 16 and add to negative 8? It's negative 4 and negative 4. So this factors to x squared times x minus 4 squared. So it's got two roots or zeros at 0 and 4. And then the 0 root has a multiplicity of 2. And the 4 root has a multiplicity of 2, meaning you're going to bounce off the x-axis at both of those roots. So 6-3 is getting into the synthetic division. And some long division here. So for problem 5, since we're dividing by x minus 5 with the synthetic division, we're putting just a 5 there. You divide by the actual root. And then it's x cubed minus 8x squared plus 17x minus 10. So 1x squared minus 8x squared plus 17x minus 10, just writing those coefficients. And then synthetic division is bring down and then multiply. 5 times 1 is 5. Add these together, that's negative 3. 5 times negative 3 is negative 15. Add these together, that's 2. 5 times 2 is 10. Add those two together, and I get 0. So this cubic divided by x minus 5 is equal to 1x squared minus 3x plus 2 with a remainder of 0. For 19, I'm going to divide x squared minus 13x minus 48 divided by x plus 3. So let's see. So I'm going to put x in first. X squared divided by x is x. So then x times x plus 3 is x squared plus 3x. So multiply this times this, and then change the sign on all the terms, minus, minus, and then these cancel out. And you're left with minus 16x, and then bring down the next term, minus 48. And then divide minus 16x divided by x is minus 16. That's divide, and then multiply negative 16 times x plus 3. That's minus 16x minus 48. And then subtract, so change the sign on all the terms. So this would be plus 16x plus 48. So that has a remainder of 0. So this divided by x plus 3 is equal to x minus 16. There's a synthetic division and a long division example. 7-8, graphing square root functions with transformations. So problem 1 is negative root x plus 2. So I'm going to shift left. Again, it's usually 0, 0, 1, 1, 4, 2. Starts here, 0, 0, 1, 1, 4, 2. If I take this graph, I'm going to shift it left 2, and then I'm going to reflect it over the x-axis. If you change the sign on the y values, y is now equal to the negative of what it was. If you change the sign on the y, you're going to reflect over the x-axis. So there's where the point 0, 0 went. Here's where the point 1, 1 went. And here's where the point 4, 2 went. Cool. For problem 30, we want to solve this equation. It said graphing, but let's just solve it using algebra. So I'm going to square both sides. And remember, when you square both sides, there's no plus or minus or anything. It's only when you square root both sides. So square both sides, I get 4x minus 3 equals 25. Add the 3, divide by 4, and you get 7. If we check that number, I put 7 in for x. 7 times 4 is 28 minus 3. And 28 minus 3 is 25. And the square root of 25 is 5 and only 5. So 5 equals 5. That 7 makes that a true statement. 9-3. So this problem 1 is looking for points of discontinuities for the rational function. Again, a polynomial divided by a polynomial is a rational function. So any value of x that'll make the denominator equal to 0 is bad. So it's 4 and -3. And just to kind of take it a little further, like what is 4 going to be on the graph? Well, if I plug 4 in, I get 7/0. So that's going to be a vertical asymptote. Anytime you get a number over 0, it's going to be a vertical asymptote. If you plug -3 in, you get 0/0. You get 0 over -7 times 0, 0/0. That's our whole. So at -3. So those are both discontinuities on the graph. Okay, so 7 is asking for horizontal asymptotes. So this was vertical asymptote at 4, whole at -3. But for this case, what we're looking for is this top-heavy, bottom-heavy same ratio. When x gets really, really big, what's going to happen? If you look, this is a bottom-heavy function. The degree of the polynomial in the denominator is bigger than the degree of the polynomial in the numerator. So as x gets really, really big, this denominator is going to get really, really big, forcing the function to approach 0. So any bottom-heavy function will always have a horizontal asymptote of y equals 0. 9-6. So here's our problem 2 here. So 4 over x equals x over 4. You can cross multiply, however you want to look at that. X squared equals 16. And then when you square root both sides, you get the plus or minus 4. Don't forget, when you square root both sides, plus or minus 4. If you put in either of these numbers, either both 4 in both those cases, you get 1 equals 1. If you put -4, you get -1 equals -1. Either 4 or -4 would make this true. Okay, last one, 20. So I want to solve this equation here. So if you want, you can kind of look at cross multiply, or multiply both sides of the equation by 3x plus 7, multiply both sides of the equation by 2x minus 4. But if you look at this as a cross multiply, you get 3 times 3x plus 7 is equal to 5 times 2x minus 4. So then I get 9x plus 21 equals 10x minus 20. I'm going to subtract the 9x over here to bring in x. I'm going to add the 20 over here to get 41. So that's it for this algebra on day 12. Hopefully you had fun, and I'll see you next time. Take care, everybody.